Welcome to my latest painting update. Over the last couple of weeks I've been painting some Kickstarter figures from Statuesque Miniatures and repainting and rebasing some old elementals. Let's start at the front with the new stuff. These are the Statuesque Kickstarter miniatures. This is the second set from their left at the bottom of the garden range. A range of stitched together toys and creatures and the occasional person, which has a really lovely storybook fairy tale feel. These are all single piece metal castings. They're beautifully cast, no flash, no cleaning up required, but they are very tiny. So let's start from the left. We start off with a little black kitten on a rock. Let me get this guy closer. Whoa, tricky. There we go, tiny. And a little black kitten in a tree. Also tiny. And the last of the little black kittens with a tortoiseshell Siamese looking cat. Let's turn this one round. You see the stitches on their backs they have. I painted them these colours to resemble my cats past and present, so I didn't have to think too long about what colour to do the cats. Then over on this side there's a couple of ginger cats. There's a fairly well built looking one there, and a slightly more elegant one there. These are really hard to manipulate. I'm sorry for the big hands, but as you can see they are tiny. There we go. Then in the centre we've got a little robin on a stick. There we go. And a troll. I painted him grey because he's got a tacked on tail like Eeyore. And the old woman with her little button eyes and some keys. Is she benign? Is she a witch? Who can tell? There we go. Put him back. And there we are, the second set of miniatures from Statuesque Minis. The first set contained crows and mice and kittens and some couple of girls. So altogether they make a really nice storybook set, and I'm looking forward to the next lot. Right, that's the sparkly new stuff out of the way. These are some pretty old elementals from Grenadier Miniatures on the left here and Ral Partha on the right here. Elementals, one of my favourite things, and I've got an awful lot of elementals, and I've been getting rid of a lot of the unnecessary ones now that I perhaps don't need quite so many. But I kept these. I kept the Ral Partha ones here, which are probably my favourite usable elementals as, say, summoned elementals and things, and I kept the Grenadier ones because they're very similar in size and feeling. Let me start with the Grenadier ones. First thing I'll do is I'll turn the Earth Elemental round because I've got him backwards. There we are, you can see his nice face. Right, the Fire one. Fire Elemental's on a 50mm round MDF base. I textured it with tissue paper and PVA so I could get a sort of fire texture going, and painted them up. The Earth one, as you can see, is a sort of mud creature, so he's blended a little bit with a normal stone and grass and earth base that I do. Right, the Water Elemental is this rather fetching woman. Again, her base was done with tissue paper and PVA gives a fantastic water texture, I think. Very quick to do. You just sort of splurge on strips, nice and wet, prod it around with a brush. When it dries, it's rock hard. Hang on. Maybe you can hear that, maybe not. And it's very effective as water. And then the air one has a mischievous little grin on a normal style base. So that's the Grenadier set. The Ralpatha set are a little chunkier, I think. Again, the fire, same deal with the basing. He spreads out a bit more than his Grenadier counterpart. The Earth Elemental is made of rock, obviously. There we go. The water one is just a wave, which I think is nicer than personifying it quite so much. Does have a face under there. Again, PVA and tissue paper base. And the air one, he looks angrier, I think, than the Grenadier one. So there we go. These will now represent my my elemental set for most role-playing games and fantasy games. I have some much bigger elementals, some of those transparent plastic ones you can get in the D&D range, or the Reaper do clear elementals. I've got some of those, and I've got some D&D ones, but they're I don't know, although they're quite a nice gimmick, they kind of look like what they are, which is coloured plastic. So so these will be the ones that see the most playtime. Right, there we go. That's it for this one. If you got this far, then thank you. Please like, share, subscribe, comments are nice. Got a lot of comments on my last video with the 54mm figures. That was nice. It does make a difference to somebody somewhere, and eventually, of course, I'll be world famous if enough of you tell your friends about me. So there you go. As always, I'll see you next time.